welcome to another episode of Laying Down the Lore 40k, a lore podcast in which we aim to separate our Necrons from our Night Lords, our Psychers from our Servitors, and our Orcs from our Old Ones, and generally ask, what's up with this 40k stuff? My name is Ben Crone Barber, and while I used to know pretty much fuck all about 40k, I now know very little. With me is my co-host, Christopher Crowlin Allen.
Hi.
They're both doing kind of bobbleheads people on camera, trying to distract me visually now, who despite years of valiant effort, still knows next to nothing.
A penis! What?
Yeah.
And my dear brother, Darren.
Hello.
I should have said penis there. Who knows so much about Warhammer, it's frankly
and my
disturbing.
dear penis, Darren. What?
And my dear brother, penis. This dichotomy between our levels of understanding is why we're all here, as this series is an attempt to address that ignorance.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an attempt to address that penis. Yeah.
Weird.
It's like the Scottish thing, they address the haggis on what's his name? Burns Night. Third degree Burns Night. Yeah.
Third degree Burns Night. You address the haggis. It just means putting clothes on it.
Yeah.
Madam, you are looking ravishing tonight.
Yeah. But you got to take them off before you cook the haggis. Otherwise, it's a huge fire hazard.
Hence Third Degree Burns Night.
Yeah. Nice, Growl. You
It's
went
like
full
you think-
circle with that bitch.
It's like you think this stuff happens by accident. It's crazy.
It was all scripted, bitches. All scripted. It feels weird having no support in this. I feel like we're kind of...
Wear tighter boxers.
I'm almost 42, dude. This is...
This is as perky as they're getting, babe.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going for less support now, actually. Looser support. Let's call it looser.
Looser support.
Yeah.
It's like a bell clapper. What?
Right. Well, band's done.
Band's achieved.
And unless you have some more bands.
No.
Nah.
Actually, I have a joke. It was sent in by a listener, Adam Loosley. He's prefaced it with possibly a bad dad joke for you guys. And let's see how you feel about this.
Okay.
How do you fit 5 donkeys in a fire engine?
That's oddly specific.
2 in the front, 2 in the back, and 1 on the top going Eeyore, Eeyore.
Hee-haw, hee-haw. Yeah, that's great. I love that.
Wow, okay. I got a better response. Right, fair dues. Well done, Adam. You made Dar laugh.
I did, because I just got the visual of this fire truck going through the streets of a city with a donkey strapped to the top going, "Ee-haw, ee-haw."
Looking side to side as it does it. Like.
Terrified, yeah?
Actually, Dar, now that you say it, it's probably the best dad joke I've ever heard. Kryle just looks really upset.
5.5 out of 10.
A torch strapped to each hoof.
Did you just say 5.5 out of 11, Kryle?
Sure, let's make it even worse. 5.5 out of 11.
Yeah. A solid 50% then. What?
Somebody else also, I think one of our previous jokes was that we read out was the one about a dog with no legs and where you left it. And someone's just written,
the no
if
idea.
Kryle were the no idea. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Someone's just written, if Kryle were a dog, I imagine he wouldn't have legs.
No.
That's disturbing.
If Kryle were
Isn't it?
if Kryle were a dog, I envisage him as having one leg.
Or missing one leg.
Yeah, he just does donuts on the carpet. Yeah.
4 out of 10.
What kind of dog would Dar be, Kryle?
He would definitely be... You'd be a schnauzer.
I was going to say that. It's the beard. Isn't it?
I don't know what they look like.
Yeah.
This Opie. Opie's a miniature schnauzer.
Yeah.
Oh
miniature
yeah,
schnauzer.
no, me and Opie do have the same face. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dar. This is my sister's dog, Opie. His full name is Oppenheimer. I think because one of his friends.
Hang on, is she not my sister as well?
Well, our sister.
What a way
our
to find
collective
out.
sister.
Our adopted sister. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But my God, does Opie love Dar. Like, when
Yeah.
Dar arrives, gets down on the floor with Opie goes fucking crazy. It's like he recognizes one of his own.
Yeah.
I know you. You seem to have evolved somewhat since we last saw each other. But
Yeah.
all right. Well, that's that then.
Bit of bonus pants for you.
Anticlimactic end to that.
Yeah. One of our other relations, anticlimactic. Yeah.
Right, Crowley, you know what time is.
Sure.
Citizen of the Imperium, it's time for frontal lobotomy or bottle in front of me.
Hooray.
Kral, I just want to ask, and this is a genuine question, what kind of dog would Ben be? Because he seemed to fly under the radar on that bit.
He does, doesn't he?
Past that.
He misses all the shtick. I'm going to say he's a big slobbery Doberman. No, Great Dane, sorry. The Scooby-Doo dog.
Scooby-Doo dog. Given the coiffure, I would say that he is a brownish-coloured poodle that's used as a kind of footstool during Eyes Wide Shut sex orgies. And that explains the kind of 1,000-yard look in his eye.
Yeah. You weren't there, man. You weren't there.
You weren't there. Let me just say...
Covered in camel paint.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I would like to be, what's the... Bernese mountain dog. I'd like to be a Bernese mountain dog. Is it Bernese?
You are a
Bernese.
Bernese.
I always get it wrong.
Yeah. You're big, burly, and cuddly.
Thanks, Kral.
Yeah.
We have never cuddled people. For the record, Kral has never once cuddled me.
Let me just say, he's getting more cuddly as years go by. So, one of us. One of us.
Do you know what I resent about that is the fact that the cuddliness is not appearing uniformly. It's appearing in specific
it's just
areas.
In his legs. He's just got really cuddly legs.
It's just my belly.
Cuddly fingers.
I've been like really trying on the exercise and food recently, and I got home and took my top off last night. I looked at myself in the mirror. I was like, well, I'm not going to fuck me. Like, fuck's sake.
And your body sighed. Just went, ugh.
Yeah. It seems to be, it's like water weight. Like, every time I move, the whole lot jiggles. And it's just horrible. Like, fuck's sake.
Well, they say as women get older, they settle for the man that they love. Whereas with men, we actually settle.
Yeah. Like a flan in a cupboard.
Yeah. Like a flan in a cupboard. Right, what? Kral, come on. What's happening?
Jesus, Kral.
Yeah.
Fucking questions.
Yeah.
Why are we even here? It's got to be the biggest delay between the jingle and the questions ever. Right, Kral, last episode
the jiggle.
We looked at
what?
The jiggle, yeah. Actually, there was quite a small gap between the jingle and my jiggle.
You put the jiggle in my jingle, baby.
Okay, gross, Kral. Stop that.
Eyes wide shut,
Yeah. You weren't there, man. So we looked at Space
that
Marine
dog's absorbent.
vehicles.
Yeah, mum.
Question 1, Kral. How many...
Oh, yeah, you questioned me. I was about to regurgitate my knowledge. Go on.
Yeah. How many vehicles did we look at?
Fucking hell, loads. Like artillery.
Don't be counting the pictures. Don't be counting the pictures. I'll simplify, actually. How many pictures did we look at?
1, 2,
because I think some of them had like 1 or 2.
8, 9, 10.
Oh, Jesus Christ. 37. Move on. We've got a lot to get through today.
One point to
Yeah,
Kral.
I mean, loads. I mean, a good couple of dozen. A good couple of dozen.
Do you know what, Kral? Darren answered. I'm going to give you that.
Yeah, thank you. Ben, how many words were spoken in the last episode? Don't count them.
If you mean...
one long one.
Yeah. If you mean properly pronounced, Kral, the answer would be 0. Question number 2. How many variations of the Land Raider did we look at?
Fuck me. That's the tank in various flavors, right?
Yeah, it's the one.
I'm gonna guess. It's probably 3. 3.
Oh, I love he says he probably guessed. He's got all the photos set in front of him. Yeah, well done, Cal. Number 3. And what was the
Cheers,
biggest?
Darren.
The fight.
You're welcome. He didn't see it.
I did see it. What is the? And I'm deducting half a point from you for giving him the answer. What was the biggest unit that we looked at? What was the biggest vehicle? What was it called?
Either air or land, or both, or
Air.
one of each.
Well, in total, but yeah, it was an air unit.
Okay, the 2 biggest in the air was the Thunderhawk dropship, and then on the land was the Mastodon assault vehicle, or it might have been the big tank. Would it be the Mastodon assault vehicle or the big fucking tank with 2 ka-chunk barrels on the top? The Primaris floaty tank. I'm asking Darren.
Oh, the Astras. Yeah,
Is it a battle tank?
Yeah, it's a battle tank. I think the Thunderhawk has to take it.
Yeah, I'm just talking in terms of land. Was the
land?
The Mastodon was my favorite. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah, basically it's a castle on tracks.
Yeah.
Which one's the Mastodon?
It was the last.
The big yellow one.
Yeah, the last
Big
picture.
yellow one.
I think it was the very, very last one, or second to last one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was basically like a fortress, and they stuck some tank tracks on it.
Yeah. Do you know what would be a great idea with this fortress, guys?
That's cool. So which is bigger, that or the Primaris big fucking tank thing?
I think the Astras, I think it's called, takes it, but not by much.
Just in terms of square footage.
It's wider because it's got all these anti-grav panels on the bottom of it because it's a hover tank.
Yeah. Just aftermarket skirts and under lighting and shit. Just gives it a bit more girth. Yeah.
And they do that thing with the exhaust that it makes a fucking obnoxious sound just so that they can be heard.
Yeah.
I've never understood that practice. Well done, Crab. I think you got all of those. I think I didn't write any of them down. So yeah.
Oh, Quiz to Randall's not going to be happy.
We could tell by the fact that the first question was how many pictures were shown last time. That's like the book reports I used to give. Well, yes, this book is certainly a book full of words.
It's got a colourful cover and
I enjoyed the pages. Yeah,
yeah. Reading's great, isn't it?
Yeah. We laughed, we cried. Okay, Ben, I've got a question for you.
What are you still doing here?
That, and what was the air superiority vehicle?
They were. I think there was. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the one that's got the little stumpy wings, and it's got like
They've all got pretty stumpy wings. They don't seem to have very winged wings, do they? These ones.
It didn't have like a glass cabin. You know, the cockpit didn't have a kind of glass. It was like an armored cover, and it just had like a little slit. But I can't remember the name.
It had good pages as well. Yeah.
Ah, fantastic pages, fantastic cover.
Was it called the Reaver? The Reaver or something?
Was it the Reaver?
No.
May have been something Talon Reaver.
Yeah,
Goat Raper. I can't remember.
Yeah. And there was the Dark Angels Flying Church thing, which was fun. I like that as well.
Oh yeah, the land speeder. Yeah.
The land speeder.
There's two versions of that. One is built like a cathedral. The other one's
orthodox. One's
One believes that the Emperor is the son of God, and the other that he is just a prophet. Yeah.
One you can talk directly to him, the other one you have to go through the clergy. The other one you have to talk to the machine gun.
That's it.
Right. Well, there you go. That's
nice.
That's that whole.
Yeah, I really enjoyed last one. The vehicles, 40k vehicles, are fucking cool. So yeah, fantasy is kind of where my heart's at, but you can't deny the vehicles in 40k.
Yeah, the vehicles are very
so
cool
fucking extra.
What you want is the vehicles in fantasy, Kral. Isn't that right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That'd be a fucking bloodbath. I'd pay real money to see that animated.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Right, okay. Well, fucking...
Cool.
Yeah, done.
Moving on.
Is it what we think it is this episode?
No, it's something else. If listeners will recall, a fair few months ago, maybe 6 or 7 or even 8 months ago, we ran you've said enough. Longest fucking intro ever. We ran a design our chapter, not contest, but community project, where we had a number of polls where the community got to vote on the type of chapter it was going to be, the color scheme, the iconography, and then the kind of their chapter heritage, where it came from. And so we had a number of excellent entries. And so this is, I suspect, going to be the first of 3 episodes where we dig into the background lore and organization of the Meles Astorum, aka the Star Badgers or Space Badgers or Spadgers,
Amazing.
as they've been being called.
Amazing.
So we're going to have a look at, in this episode, the history, really, and some of the major kind of defining battles that take them up to a quite traumatic event, which changes everything with hilarious consequences.
Oh dear.
Let's just launch into it. So the earliest records within the Imperium for the Meles Astorum is that they were a fleet-based chapter that patrolled a section of the Segmentum Pacificus. Either of you remember which direction that one is? That's right, it's to the left. Yeah.
Specificus. Is it to the... Where is it, sorry, in relation to Earth? Terra.
It's to the left. It's the smallest segmentum, the one that's only really been written about in with great detail for the Sabbat Crusade, which happens in the kind of the galactic southern section. The Spadgers patrol an area from a world called Precipice around to something called the Perrin Cross. So it's a kind of large patrol area which takes hundreds of years to actually get around, unless they're called away and they bamf out with their warp engines on their craft. They are first mentioned in something called the Gazetteer of Hestia Navarus, or Navarus, which was a collection of articles and maps of that area. And we see a fleet mentioned there, and a brief description of them being a codex-compliant, fleet-based chapter in good standing within the Imperium. Mr. Chris.
You say Gazette as in newspaper. Because I read all about it,
No, Gazetteer.
Space badges are awesome.
A Gazetteer is a kind of complete description of a physical area.
Oh, sounds like somebody who fires gazettes.
Where's my tape gazette?
Achoo.
This is going very well already.
You keep making up words. I mean...
I didn't make up fucking the word gazetteer. It's been around for hundreds of years.
Well, I've never heard of it.
Right. Well, in that case, it must not exist.
Perambulating, arboreal, pangalactic.
A gazetteer,
fuck,
not to dive into chunks of Dar territory, but a gazetteer is a geological index or dictionary.
Yeah.
So
there you go. Right, Kral, you are in the silent corner for the next 5 minutes. Go on, Dar.
Okay.
It's mentioned as a codex chapter of unknown heritage, although it is suspected they have traits, as noted within the Gazetteer, of possible Raven Guard origin. Their first real kind of mention in battle, or their description in battle, is for something called the Jarnhost Reaving, which happened in the year 333 of the 37th millennium. No indication has been given so far of their number of founding that they were involved in. So we have no way of correctly estimating their age.
Badges don't count, motherfucker.
So they appear within Imperial records for about 5,500 years. That's the earliest kind of recorded mention of them. The Jarnhost Reaving was what became quite infamous void assault by the Star Badgers, or the Meles Astorum. I'm just going to call them the Star Badgers from now on.
Stages,
in and around what's known as the Garn Belt, which is a kind of mixed nebula asteroid field. And their target was a dark mechanicum kind of forge ship or fortress ship that had taken up root within that area of space. The ship itself, the dark mechanicum ship, is we haven't really dealt with the kind of heretic Adeptus Mechanicus before in any great detail, but they have their ships are kind of fusions of a kind of flesh, steel, and warp weaponry together with huge kind of barracks filled with slaves to work their kind of slave forges. They're the sort of chaos dwarfs of the 40k universe, but they are
with the hats.
Some of them have quite natty hats, yes, but they are
nice.
Human-sized or bigger, and they are the kind of cybernetic amalgams that you see within the Adeptus Mechanicus. The battle itself started with what I like to call a silent insertion, where the Starbat. Silent insertion is actually a maneuver. Given that there were so many auguries and sensor arrays within the Garn Belt, the Star Badgers boarded their Thunderhawks and kind of flew directly at the fortress ship with huge afterburners kicking in, and then they shut down the entire ship. So it just flew in silently into the asteroid belt, and at the very last minute, reignited the engines and put in the thrusters and kind of attached themselves to the outside of the ship, and were able then to penetrate the weird, fleshy steel skin.
Ugh.
We see here that there is brutal combat and boarding actions performed in 0G throughout the corridors that were kind of this rusted metal and creaking bone internal structure. Almost in complete darkness, only illuminated by muzzle flares and flashes and the kind of tearing explosions of rupturing bulkheads and a kind of grinding corridor by corridor, almost room by room, grinding battle of attrition. What had been estimated to be, a couple of days worth in terms of Terran standard combat turned into a grinding campaign of months as they tore through not only the initial Mechanicum ship, but then into the asteroids, and indeed within the asteroids. And it's here that we see the mention of something called tunnel breaking, which is a form or a ritual form of underground combat that began to take hold within the chapter as it kind of dealt with enclosed and subterranean spaces. So they became masters of the kind of Mortalis style combat within the 40k universe. Mr. Ben.
2 questions. What do you mean by Mortalis?
There is a type of battlefield within 40k known as the Zone Mortalis. And that is enclosed spaces. So it's within buildings, within the corridors of spaceships. So it's within hive cities, that kind of notion where it's enclosed, oppressive, claustrophobic, room to room, corridor to corridor, battles of attrition. Does
that mean that they're more inclined towards kind of melee combat than, or is it like close quarter with big guns?
I think it's more so that they have room clearing. They have developed over time room clearing strategies and kind of built on the Codex Astartes' own description of how you should clear ships, how boarding action works, how siege works, and how breaching actions work. They've kind of built on that within their own experience. It's like we said before, that a lot of the second generation Astartes, second founding Astartes chapters began as mirrors of their home, of their ancestor legion, and then through their own experience they altered and diverged from this. So it's the first mention of their kind of specialism in, for want of a better word, underground fighting or enclosed fighting.
Burrowing. The other question was, why did they not just blow the ship up? Why did they? But was there something on it that they wanted? Did they have a bit of a penchant for fleshy ships?
There is a mention of there being a partial STC on board.
Juicy, ripe STC.
Juicy, ripe STC.
Fresh for the picking.
Fresh for the pickings.
Nom.
So victorious from that combat, nothing really is heard about them then until towards the end of the 37th millennium, where they are granted by the High Lords of Terra a planet within their patrol area known as Samarkand, which was to be a recruiting ground. It's very clear they were not granted a home world. They were granted recruiting privileges on the planet of Samarkand, and we'll discuss that. We might touch on it this episode, but definitely next episode. Mr. Chris.
But they're a fleet-based chapter anyway, right? So
yes.
Even if they were given a home world, I mean, they can interchange, I guess. Or can they? Once a fleet-based chapter, always a fleet-based chapter?
In general, if you are a fleet-based chapter, you don't have a home world. You don't have like the imperial governorship of a system, which is what happens if you get granted a home world as a Space Marine chapter. They were, in terms of their existence, they're there to kind of patrol what are called the halo stars, which is the band of stars around the galaxy, a band of systems and stars that are just outside of the Astronomicon. So, the space beacon doesn't reach that far, or is intermittent in its existence that far.
Under the radar.
Yeah, so their reason for existence is the patrol of an area of halo stars in the Segmentum Pacificus. Samarkand itself is a volcanic... basically, it's a pile of volcanic rubble in space that decided to be a planet. That's what,
that identifies as a planet.
Yes, it identifies as a planet. Yeah. And as such, it's a death world and an incredibly hardy group of the people that live on there refer to themselves as the Flintborn, and they are a very kind of hardy, almost Stone Age style civilization, although there are ruins of earlier human settlements within the planet itself, but it's constantly grinding. It's huge tectonic and geological activity. So these signs of earlier civilizations are slowly being ground away. And so it's very difficult for, they will never have a civilization like the Roman Empire on the planet because there are not the resources to be able to manage.
It's not settled enough. So are the human inhabitants very Neanderthal-like? They don't have a chance to progress or develop.
They do. They have a kind of. It's like the Dark Ages. It was originally settled by human colonists, but then due to the warp storms, like pre-Great Crusade, they were cut off from the Imperium, and so degenerated. The culture degenerated over time. Although they have kept the echoes of the original colonists exist in that they are peoples of an Indic or Indus Valley origin. And so after they're granted this world as a recruiting world, they build a small kind of, almost like a small temple at the base of one of these great escarpments on the planet, which we'll talk about in the near future. And that's where the trials happen for the populace that go down there. But over time, there's an increasing percentage of the Astartes are from Samarkand. So you start seeing the culture change within the chapter over a millennium. An example of that would be the renaming of certain items and vehicles given names of kind of Samarkandian heritage. So one of their battle barges, for instance, was known as Flame Prow. That's the kind of the low Gothic name for it. It's now called the Agnivala, which is effectively Flame Prow within the Indus Valley languages. So you start seeing renaming of their, and that kind of is not a symptom, but a result of, instead of recruiting from worlds as they patrol, they now have a dedicated world where they can draw a larger percentage of recruits.
A
and
farm,
a larger percent. Yeah, effectively.
They can farm recruits now. Yeah, okay.
It's a farm to battle barge. The route is very small. It's like farm to table.
Local produce, local recruits within 50 light years. Yeah.
All on display at the local recruitment market.
That's it.
Recruitment farmers market.
Yeah.
The next kind of major event here that's recorded is the Siege of Gaulus Red, where the Star Badgers defend a planet's kind of final bastion against Uras'drekh, after hive cities are reduced to hollow shells by the Orc Waz as it washes over the planet. Realizing that their mission is slightly untenable in terms of repelling the Orc Wad, they attempt to save the populace, as much of the populace as they can. The population is then extracted. That sounds very weird. They're extracted by centrifuge. There's a starport there, and so the local system ships, the kind of bulk haulers, are now turned into these population transports. And although they're not able to save all of the populace, they do save a great proportion of it. Realizing that the hive itself now will fall, they abandon the hive walls, so they refuse to kind of stop the orcs getting into the hive, and indeed draw the orcs into the underhive, where their specialization in enclosed combat starts to again come to the fore. One of their number, Rudraksha Varan, a scout sergeant within the chapter, discovers kind of slag piles of something called silica dust, which is a byproduct of one of the hive's manufactorums, and realizes it can operate as like a blind grenade if used properly, so that it can obscure the movements of the Astartes and disrupt the kind of augury guides or the scanners of the orcs and their bionic eyes and so as they move through thing. So he creates massive explosions of this silica dust within the underhive, thus being able to allow the chapter to kind of come in and start doing quite large-scale underground ambushes. Eventually, this type of tactic is formalized within the chapter's kind of war cant, their body of strategy, and it's known as the Womb of Stone Tears, which is they draw in the enemy into a subterranean enclosed space and then blind them and then pick them off one by one, or squad by squad, or pack by pack. Varan was eventually given the name of the Red-Eyed Storm because of the bleeding, gouged eyes of his enemies that would be left on the battlefield.
Pink eye.
from the razor sharp silica dust.
Captain Pink Eye.
Yeah.
Captain Pink Eye. As they're patrolling through the Segmentum Pacificus, they come across, not literally, the floating wreckage of an Exorcist-class Grand Cruiser, which had been lost since the late days of the Great Crusade, so prior to the Horus Heresy. Discovered kind of in the, above the event horizon or the tear of a small warp storm. I have an image here of a Exorcist class star cruiser. So it's a grand cruiser from the days of the Heresy.
The Harris Horsey.
So it's this old style Imperial, quite large grand battle cruiser.
Classic chassis.
It's just under 7.5 kilometers long. So it's 4.5 miles long. To give you an idea. Mr. Ben.
I do find that the kind of style of the kind of larger spacefaring vessels are all exactly the same. They're just bigger versions, aren't they? They've got the kind of snowplow nose and then just bits, just loads of bits behind them.
You raise a great point, and this is just to give you an idea of the difference in style between a Grand Cruiser and, say, a battle barge. Here is a picture of a battle barge. These are taken from the Battlefleet Gothic computer game.
Right.
So there is an ultramarine battle barge. So that's the kind of standard Astartes flagship that's given there. And those are 10 kilometers long. So it's a third again as long.
It looks like that extra 3 kilometers, they've just kind of extended the front end of it and put like a janky block on the end. The main body is the same. Yeah,
exactly. To be fair, it does look different to that. So it doesn't have the snowplow nose, so I stand corrected. There is
probably less space aerodynamic, though, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, sparodynamic. Yeah,
space aerodynamic.
Hey, Marine! If you're in urgent need of some heavy fire support at a low price, then get yourself down to Grimgear's used Wartech Emporium, where everything must go! That's right, every lightly used Titan, pre-loved Dreadnought, hardly dented Razorback, and barely dropped drop pod, priced to go! Thanks to a silly misunderstanding with the Inquisition about how these lightly used and mostly functioning war machines were acquired, we urgently need to offload all stock and are passing on once-in-a-millennia discounts onto you! We have land speeders, hellhounds, Tau SV8 and Sentinel warsuits, and even a mint-condition Baneblade! And for a limited time only, get a free ammo crate of armor-piercing munitions with every Predator purchase. But act fast before they go, or the Imperium requisition them.
Hey, you, citizen, stop right there.
And yes, we do accept trade-ins. Got any old Chaos Defilers? Rusty Titan hulls? Trade with us and choose between Imperial credits or a crate of Promethea. Act now! Located just off Cadian Supply Warp Route 409. Open 0 hour to whenever the Inquisition finally catch up with us. Supplies are vanishing fast. Adeptus Terror onto us, so you do not want to miss this fire sale. Grimgear's used Wartech Emporium. If it's grim, you're gonna win.
Grand Cruiser, known as Luna's Vigil, that's the actual name of the Grand Cruiser when it was active during the Great Crusade, is towed, probably by chains, they're not towing stars, and is taken to the Forge World of Milhand in the Segmentum Pacificus, and is Millhouse, and is effectively retrofitted to become a kind of the how would you describe it? The spiritual heart of the chapter. So it's where the chapter's relics are now stored within this, within this vehicle that existed when the Emperor walked among the warriors of the Imperium.
That's
it's
cool.
The the chapter's apothecaries move in and take over the med bays or apothecarions within the Grand Cruiser. And indeed, the librarius of the chapter is also transferred into this vehicle or this huge, vast spaceship. So it's used now to record the battle honors of the chapter. It holds the gene seed and sends off the samples to the Inquisition when asked. It's also where scouts are implanted with their gene seeds, and the initial training takes place within these kind of ancient hallowed hallways and decks of the cruiser itself.
Amazing. We got a new home.
Got a new home. Well, no, because while the flagship of the chapter is still a battle barge known as Thunderblade, or within the new kind of Samarkandian language or nomenclature, it's known as the Vajrakada. That's the name of the ship.
Vajrakhada.
Vajrakada.
I can see you, Vajrakhada, Darren.
Yeah, that's still that's culturally insensitive, Chris. That is known as it's still the flagship of the chapter. But as I say, Luna's Vigil becomes the chapter's kind of spiritual heart. And indeed, it is renamed to the Dharma Gua, which is the Cave of Law within the Samarkandian language. A lot of stone-based, underground-based nomenclature due to how you survive on Samarkand. About 300 years later, after the kind of reclamation of Luna's Vigil, we see a alliance between the Iron Hands successor chapters known as the Red Talons and the Star Badgers under the kind of leadership of Inquisition forces as they purge a greenskin invasion of the Sorn Expanse. Originally, again, a battle forecasted or estimated to last a couple of days. There would be strategic kind of drop pod assaults and take out the leadership of the war bosses of the Greenskins. Ended up lasting a little over 2 months as they pushed Orc forces back across 3 worlds, and the Orc forces were a mix of death skulls and blood axes. Mr. Chris?
It's not the first time they've underestimated how long a battle will take, is it? Won't be the last, I feel, either.
No.
Yeah. Very much like house renovations. Like, if you think something's going to take a week, it's going to take 2 months. Like, just, you know. Yeah.
Oh, there was an SNL comedian. I can't remember her name. Kate McKinnon. She says that as she's gotten older, she's realized that anything she wants to do, when she sat down and thought about it, and then does it, it takes 3 times as long and costs 3 times as much. And like, my attitude to that is, well, if you know that now, just when you get your first estimate, and just multiply it by 3.
Yeah. But then, if you do that, does that mean that new figure could then be also multiplied by 3? Because you now reset your expectation. Yeah.
It sounds like the astral badge, the space badges, need to employ her as one of the chief officers. Strategy and stuff. Kind of
strategic comedian. Yep.
Yes.
Strategic comedian.
Turning back to what's referred to as the Howling Iron Pact, we see that the tensions are almost immediately are heightened by the fact that there's real ideological clashes between the Red Talons' kind of rigid machine logic, as a successor chapter to the Iron Hands, and the Star Badger's kind of instinctive combat tactics.
Happy-go-lucky attitude.
Yeah, very, yeah.
Easy going.
Happy-go-lucky, but completely silent. Yeah. The breaking point between the 2 chapters came when the Red Talons refused to send squads to relieve an encircled and embattled demi-company of Star Badgers.
Fucking bastards.
Responding to the kind of call for aid as being combat ineffective. There would be no point going because we couldn't care. The Star Badgers did eventually manage to fight their way out of this kind of semi-siege. Yeah, of course, they're tenacious. And while the campaign did end ultimately in victory, there was a lot of bitterness within the Star Badgers, and the conflict is used as an example about the risk of bringing outsiders into the operational standards of the chapter as a whole. And indeed, they start to become a bit more isolationist.
Trust issues.
Trust issues, but xenophobia. In our meaning of the word, not in the kind of standard everyone hates aliens style thing.
Yeah.
We're into the 39th millennium, the first kind of record in there. So we're now, 2,000 years since their first mention. They're still mentioned as a chapter in good standing, battling away. And it's a battle referred to as Mr. Chris. The battle is referred to as Mr. Chris.
Let's roll with it. Sorry, just to clarify, I can't remember what you said. Are they a compliant or non-compliant chapter?
They are a codex compliant chapter.
They are a codex compliant chapter, yep.
Yes,
sorry.
They're a cookie cutter chapter still at this time. We have the Battle of the Sable Cradle. I just thought that was funny. That's the only reason I called it that.
The Battle of Mr. Krow's better.
The Battle of Mr. Crowl. The Battle of... Right, we're changing it. The Battle of Sable Crowl. So the...
Crable Crowl.
This again fought beneath the surface of an ice moon. So imagine subterranean Hoth.
Ooh.
Cool.
Where a webway gate is discovered and indeed is actively sought out by Eldar Corsairs. So not Craftworlds guys, not the Dark Eldar or Druki or the Eldari. These are Eldar pirates, which was one of the original kind of versions of the Eldar. It's famous for something called the Stalewind Standoff, where a single assault squad of Star Badgers holds the only direct pass to the gate against wave after wave of Eldar pirates for 8 Terran days. It's a combat that's fought amongst, again, we're underground, we're kind of pillared halls where it's like frozen geysers have created these huge ice pillars, and there's a kind of bluish twilight light over everything. So you hear these kind of echoes of the assault squad's jetpacks. When they run out of fuel, eventually they're able to just
throw the jetpacks at them.
Throw the jetpacks at them. But they do things like they detonate the pillars, causing these razor sharp ice shards to rain down on the Eldar. So it's very much like the fields of Vlad Tepes from the Dracula kind of lore, where it's just impaled bodies of aspect warriors and guardians. Or sorry, not aspect warriors, there's pirates. The impaled bodies of Eldar, all over the place, all over the battlefield. Ultimately, they cannot hold the webway gate, so the assault squad extracts, and the webway gate itself is destroyed via cyclonic torpedo from a strike cruiser in orbit. Mr. Chris.
Nice.
I'm going to rephrase that. They could have held it. They just chose not to. They could if they wanted to.
Well, yeah, they didn't even want it. They were just doing it out of spite. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just sport.
Spite badgers.
Yeah.
Is it how is a webway gate something that can be destroyed? Is it a physical thing, like a device that generates the gate, and so can be destroy the devices?
Some are, yes.
Right,
some are physical gates. You have there is a physical aspect to all of them, but this one in particular was these two. It was an archway formed, but it didn't kind of touch at the top, which means it's not an archway, but it's a huge kind of gate within, like whale jawbone gates that you see dotted around the mountains of Scotland. It's real weird. So these jawbones kind of idea of wraithbone decorated with Eldar iconography. But in this case, it was just detonated because it served as a wider access point within that area of the Pacificus to Eldar raiders. As part of their remit for looking after or patrolling these Halo worlds, they do organize what's referred to as edge world hunts within the chapter. And these are campaigns to go in and search for kind of the rumored pre-imperial human settlements that are out there still within the Halo stars beyond the kind of grasp of the Imperium. They're drawn from records across the segmentum and indeed from across the galaxy where a kind of tenuous location for a settlement might be on the outskirts of the segmentum. And so there is an 80-year campaign within the 39th millennium to go out and try and find these planets. And some planets are found. Most are uninhabited, or most were stripped of human life, say. So there's evidence that human settlements did exist there, but they were abandoned or destroyed. The records of this are quite fragmented, and the Administratum believe that that is a deliberate choice by the Star Badgers to obscure the reality of these enclaves outside of the Imperium. They did return with numerable relics, including void steel weaponry and fragments of visual records of these uncharted worlds and the resources that these worlds have. So these records are pored over by the Adeptus Mechanicus, because obviously if there's resources out there, the Mechanicum or the Mechanicus want them. It's unclear whether these kind of hunts were fully successful. And as I say, the records seem to be deliberately tampered with by the Star Badgers. Of note, there is a veteran sergeant, Viang, who is referred to as the Artful Sky Hunter, and who is became an expert in kind of deep reconnaissance into these uncharted worlds, and started the tradition where a squad of land speeders would be sent out on deep reconnaissance within these not only uncharted systems, but also as a method of very swiftly scouting out enemy formations and the land around which the Star Badgers must make battle. So you see in these battles, squads or squadrons of land speeders very swiftly zap out into the surrounding areas to map out the land that they must battle on, and to some extent map any possible ways to get under the enemy as they can.
The old Star Badger uppercut.
Yeah.
Would the vehicle, I believe it was the last vehicle that we looked at last month, the one that burrows under and
termites.
Termites,
is that what it? Yeah. Would that have? That was a heresy era vehicle. Would that?
That's a heresy era vehicle.
Would that have been in use around this time, or was this quite far before that?
These would have been referred to as relic vehicles.
It's way after it, isn't it?
Yeah. It's way after. There's some evidence that the Mechanicus do have it. They do have those and use them, but there's no real record of the Astartes retaining that capacity or method of battle.
Bet they'd have loved them.
Yeah. We move now to mid 39th millennium, where the Sour Badgers, where the Stena Star Badgers strike against a chaos-corrupted kind of industrial hive complex on the world of Baraxis. Having a history of underestimating the complexities of hive combat or underground combat, and having learned their lesson over the millennia, the hive is taken. It's first of all isolated within about 3 hours by orbital lance strikes from their void craft, basically disconnecting the entire hive from the rest of the planet by destroying communication tubes, travel tubes, and so that the all the pipelines and methods through which communication and troops can be moved are severed within the space of effectively an afternoon. We then see drop pod assaults and Thunderhawk landings that get the Star Badgers into these areas they destroyed, where they then they take over the kind of underhive of the hive itself within a couple of days, and then just start moving up floor by floor. Instead of clearing room by room, they effectively wash each floor with acidic gas and poisonous gases as they themselves are able to move through this unhindered.
Fumigate the place.
Yeah.
The old fumigate tactics.
Within 20 days, they have decimated the entire population of this hive, kind of methodically even. And it's a move, while triumphant, they're able to destroy the Chaos Cult from raising any issues on a planet-wide scale. It costs almost the entire population of a single hive.
Worth it.
Yeah, praised for the kind of finality of the action by the Imperial commander of the planet. They are criticized by their peers, effectively, and especially the Inquisition, for the indiscriminate nature of the death. And while the chapter does remain silent on its use of this tactic, it does see a marked decrease in the output of the world itself, because it was one of the main manufacturing industrial hives on the planet. Mr. Chris.
It's classic Imperium backseat bloody commanding, isn't it? Like, wouldn't have done it like that. Well, you fucking do it. Guys.
Yeah, it's like, guys, you can deal with this conflict any way you like. Just go for it. Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't have done.
I wouldn't have done that.
I wouldn't have done that.
Oh yeah, but not like that. Jesus.
Do you want to fucking do it? Jesus Christ. Yeah, I can relate.
We now come to a pivotal battle in the chapter's history, the Fall of Uras'drekh, which is a Necron tomb world as part of the Sarnech dynasty within the Segmentum Pacificus, whose throne world is a world called Zapanek, which is, come on, try a bit harder. Frank Zappa. No? Please yourselves.
No. Yeah.
Zapanek.
It's Zapanek.
I feel like I need my neck zapped.
It is the Adeptus Mechanicus themselves who kind of flag up the possible issue of this tomb world awakening. And while they're not known for their kind of cooperation with other imperial organizations, they do recognize that they just don't have the resources at that time within that area of space to be able to deal with it effectively. So it's handed off to the Death Watch, who are obviously the Xenos hunters of the Imperium. And within the Death Watch, there is a member of the Star Badgers who is in service.
Cool.
It's a chaplain emissary by the name of Benvatha Croda. That was the best I could do.
Real mean son of a bitch.
He's a real grumpy bastard.
He was not a volunteer for Death Watch service, insofar as the chapter, they have between 6 to 10 Astartes within the Death Watch at any given time. And it's seen as this honor to be given, he was actually requested by the Death Watch.
Wow.
It was felt that his sermons, through the kind of record of contact with other Imperial organizations during battles, was said to calm the kind of warp trauma is the wrong word, but it turned apprehension into courage and opportunities for valor, especially given kind of battles where there was a chaotic or demonic encounter had by the Imperial force. He is a chaplain within the Star Badgers, loaned out to the Death Watch, and he's quite famous for having a kind of very iron-hard, kind of black flint stylus known as Smirti, which he uses to etch oaths into the ceramite armor of the Astartes brothers that he is there for the kind of spiritual care of.
Always up for some graffiti.
Always up for some graffiti. So, yes, Mr. Chris.
I've heard stories of this chaplain. He very much echoed the stylings of pastors in the deep south of America. Really riled up the his
really racist.
Congregation.
Yeah. Real racist.
I mean, I didn't mean
always
that.
Done to a gospel backdrop.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Lots of like fanning himself and like sweating it whilst he's delivering a sermon.
Yeah.
Can I get an amen?
After the initial kind of skirmishes with the Death Watch, it was decided that the Tomb World need to be put down. And so the only sizable force within the area was the Star Badgers themselves. And so Chapter Master Vajrakesh summoned the entire chapter to this battle. And so we see, the full fleet takes orbital control around the planet, and we start seeing full company drop pod assaults, full Thunderhawk raiding parties into the Tomb World to secure the entrances into the tombs itself. These are called Tomb Worlds because most of them are dead worlds, so there's it's like Tatooine effectively, but they have huge entranceways into the tomb complexes, the subterranean tomb complexes within the planet's core or planet's crust. Orbital strikes take out most of the entranceways into the tomb that are not already secured by the Star Badgers, so that there's no cheeky reinforcing by the Necrons. And they start using, as they go into the tomb complexes, they start putting melta charges on anything that looks like a power source or anything that has a significant kind of power signature. And then as they move back or retreat in good order, they detonate these charges, causing like domino effect explosions as power systems overload throughout the tomb complexes and indeed the tomb world itself. It's as they're doing this that the tomb world itself begins to awake properly. And so we start seeing the Marines of the Star Badgers engaging against Necron warriors and all of the Necron constructs on a day-to-day basis. So their initial attempts to just destroy the tomb complexes drag out then into a war of attrition. And so while the initial Necron resistance was fragmented with these kind of half-repaired engines and warriors coming into battle, it became evident that more and more of these constructs were being woken up, and not only woken up, but able to appear as if from nowhere on the planet's surface. The logical assumption was that they did not destroy all of the tomb entrances that they had identified at the start. It was not until the end of the fourth day, where the battle really turned against the Star Badgers, where the moons of Uras'drekh had 2 moons, kind of awoke to reveal themselves as Necron constructs. So these were no moons; these were space stations. Thank you.
That's not a moon.
Holy smokes.
And so these massive gauze batteries began to kind of slowly arc around, and the space around the planet itself was suddenly struck with this green gauze lightning that seemed to wrap around the planet and indeed into low and high orbit. And so we start seeing almost, within a couple of minutes, the entire orbital fleet of these Star Badgers is destroyed, just absolutely shredded with gauze energy as layers of molecules are peeled off these large ancient craft. And despite their size and resilience, they are stripped away to nothing within a matter of minutes.
What?
The surface of the planet then became a grid of kill zones as energy pylons and gauze batteries began to rise out of the surface itself, revealing among them many teleportation nodes, so that Necron troops were kind of bamfing from area to area very swiftly to surround and destroy the Star Badgers. And indeed, we see that many squads and at least one company was, for want of a better word, vaporized by gauze energy as they charged into the lines of the Necron warriors that were appearing before them.
Oh my god.
This led to an abandonment of open ground tactics, and the remaining Star Badgers, had to go underground to survive any longer. Realizing that the very life of the chapter, its very existence, was at risk, Chapter Master Tharvin ordered
surrendered.
Yeah, no, he surrendered. He bravely surrendered. Chapter Master Vajrakesh ordered Luna's Vigil and its, or Dharmagua, as it is now known, Luna's Vigil, ordered it to the Samarkand system as quickly as possible so that it could begin the process of creating new battle brothers and training them, because obviously we have the apothecary there, the Reclusiarchy, the kind of main chapel of the chapter is on Luna's Vigil, as is the Librarius. So the chief librarian, Morven, took command and translated the ship from orbit over Uras'drekh to get to Samarkand. As the ship left, the tomb world seemed to start to buckle, and the tectonic upheaval caused by the detonation of all the kind of power centers, plus the gravatic forces of the moons becoming active, kind of tore open the planet and ultimately led to its full destruction, and thus the destruction of almost the entire chapter. And indeed, the only surviving Star Badgers were those on board Luna's Vigil and those on other missions like Death Watch or scouting missions. So there were less than 120 Star Badgers survived, and most of those assumed that the entire chapter was gone. The
endangered.
The Luna's Vigil itself managed to make it to Samarkand, but ignored any hails from the Imperial settlements within that wider system. And rather than remaining in orbit, or because there was some damage in some way to the ship, it made planetfall on something called the Karketi Plateau on the planet of Samarkand itself. And as it descended, it kind of touched down or crashed into the side,
Falling with style. Yeah.
into the side of a volcano, into the base at the side of a volcano, causing almost like a Mount St. Helens kind of slide of the mountain to cover the most of the ship as was. And it's thus from here that the first phase of the Meles Astorum, the Star Badgers, comes to a close. And we'll pick it up next episode. I should say, I do have a final couple of images to show Ben specifically, and we'll see if he recognizes these. This obviously is the firstborn chapter. You know, it is a firstborn chapter because of the time it was made, and thus here is their livery. This is the look and feel of the Star Badgers of the time.
That's
so it is it's a rendition of the second place winner of the Astartes uniform for the Star Badgers, and that is Ben's entry. Ben came second in that. Yeah,
thanks, man.
We should probably explain the livery to the listeners, right?
Yeah, it's right. Okay, I've got it right. So it's basically black. The pauldrons have got like red borders. We've got two versions. We've got a white helmet and a red helmet. The helmets have got kind of black dashes, kind of diagonally over the lines, kind of looking a little bit like badger head markings. And then it's got kind of white highlights. So a white, I forget what the name of the skull with the wings on the chest is called, but it's got one of those, white knees, white kind of shoe surrounds, a white belt.
White flip-flops.
White flip-flop. Yeah. White flip-flop.
A white belt.
Looks to me.
Yeah. And a funky little Star Badger icon on the
emblem on the left shoulder.
Yeah, looks fucking sick. Where did you make these?
Photoshop.
Wow, they are really good, man.
Well, no, the template, the line art template existed already. I took it from I can't remember, but I'll find the link and I'll put it in the show notes as well.
Yeah, the shading on the black is astonishing.
Thanks very much. Anyway, yes. Part 1 of Star Badgers. What do you think, lads?
Yeah, man.
Amazing.
I mean,
fucking
they sound pretty badass, I gotta say. You know,
pretty good. Yeah,
it's really fucking badass. I'm sure almost being brought to the edge of extinction isn't going to stop them. At 120, 1,020, it doesn't matter. Star Badgers rule.
I am interested to see how this kind of isolationist mindset is gonna continue. Because obviously, if you've got a chapter that's reduced to like almost 10% of its total strength, you're setting up a system where you could have a kind of character change. So I'm interested to see what happens there. Kind of almost like their psyche had been kind of like reset. I'm interested to see where they go with that. So I'm assuming that the Vigil ship kind of crashing and then being covered, basically becoming a mountain, is that now going to be like a static temple? Like it's their HQ?
Yeah, like I'm going to answer any type of question before the next episode.
Also, what was the Death Guard called? What was his name?
Oh God. No, the Death Watch guy.
Death Watch, right? Death Watch.
Ben something Cronius Bulbulbus or something.
Oh yeah, Ben Vakroda.
Vakroda, brother Vakroda. I love it. I wonder whether he's going to come back into full because the Death Watch is it a time limited service? Do you eventually go back?
It can be.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Your temporary contract. Yeah.
But as far like where we've left it there, the Imperium thinks the Star Badgers are just gonzo.
Okay. The opportunity.
Oh God!
The opportunity.
I'm excited.
So at this point, is Ben the chaplain still with the Death Watch, or is he back into?
No, he's still with the
his
Death
tenure
Watch.
expired? No, he's still with the Death
No,
Watch.
still
And is
with
he
the Death
aware? Is Chaplain Benny aware of the fate, the current status of the chapter?
Well, other than
what does
the
he know?
entire
What do they
chapter
know at the moment?
The chapter's declared lost by the Imperium.
Ooh, okay. I'm interested in seeing the story arc of Chaplain Benny in the context of that he believes he's heard that his chapter has been lost.
Yeah, and what's he going to do? And what's his role kind of going forward? Is he still part of the Death Watch? Does he sweep in like a kind of Grom Brindle style character where things are going badly and he just comes in,
shaping
fucking
this character,
saves the day, fucking sleeps with the girl, machine guns his number on the wall, and then bam, out he gets.
I'll give you a little peek behind the curtain. It's a sad end. He actually trips over a bulkhead entryway and lands with his stylus right in the middle of his head.
Yeah. With his pants around his ankles.
I'll teach him to be such a fucking dick. Okay, hold on.
Gotta go.
Right, that's all from us. Thank you so much for listening. If you want more 40k content, hit the Patreon link in the description and sign up today to listen to our bonus show, 40KO'd. Details and imagery for the topics we've discussed in this show can be found on our website at layingdownthelore.com, where we also have all our previous episodes, release schedules, and merchandise, and a dedicated page, of course, to the Meles Astorum. You can now also join our Discord for free, so just hit the link in the description and come and tell us what you think of the fucking awesome Star Badgers. Oi, 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 oi. We'll be back again soon, displaying just how little Kral and I know, and until then, goodbye.
Vive la Star Badgers!
Cheerio!